This is the brutal reality of the modern sensor-saturated battlefield, where a $500 commercial drone can instantly disable a multi-million-dollar main battle tank wrapped in state-of-the-art classified armor. Across the front line in Ukraine, elite crews in heavy Western tanks are discovering that traditional armor doctrines are being completely shattered in real time. Entering combat with a towering turret means stepping into a high-tech death trap, as modern loitering munitions easily target the thin roof armor and vulnerable turret rings. This unprecedented crisis has left global military strategists in a state of absolute panic, realizing that the conventional crown jewels of mechanized warfare are suddenly defenseless against low-cost aerial threats. Yet, as defense ministries scramble to invent new countermeasures, the ultimate solution has been staring them in the face from 60 years ago. A radical Cold War blueprint from Sweden, a machine once laughed at by Western generals as a technical absurdity, predicted this exact battlefield reality with chilling precision. This forgotten pioneer is the Stridsvagn 103, globally known as the S-Tank, the only turretless main battle tank to ever enter mass production. By completely removing the rotating turret, Swedish engineers achieved an incredibly low silhouette of just 2 meters and 14 centimeters, creating an almost invisible wedge that could disappear into natural terrain. More shockingly, the S-Tank featured a secret slat armor grille at the front that was kept classified for decades, designed to destroy incoming shaped charge warheads before they could touch the main hull. This is the exact geometric and tactical philosophy behind the makeshift cage armor being welded onto tanks today. Before we go on, do you believe the era of traditional heavy tanks is officially over, or can they adapt to survive this technological revolution? Please subscribe to the channel and tell me where you're watching from. To understand how this radical machine came to defy conventional wisdom, we must travel back to the late 1950s. Small, neutral Sweden found itself in an incredibly precarious strategic position, directly facing the massive armored divisions of the Soviet Union across the Baltic Sea. The Swedish Ministry of War knew it could never match the Soviet army in sheer numbers, so it desperately needed a defense strategy based on asymmetric warfare. However, the existing Swedish fleet of British-built Centurion tanks, towering monsters weighing over 50 tons and standing over 3 meters tall, were hopelessly ill-suited for the terrain. They frequently became bogged down in the soft subarctic forests, deep spring mud, and vast wetlands of the Scandinavian landscape. It was at this critical juncture that a brilliant 40-year-old engineer and reserve armored officer named Sven Berge stepped forward with a proposal that shocked the military establishment. After carefully analyzing combat data from the Second World War and the Korean War, Berge uncovered a startling statistical truth. He realized that more than 50% of all tank casualties in battle occurred because of direct hits to the turret, and that a vehicle's survival rate was directly linked to its height. His conclusion was uncompromising. To survive the modern battlefield, a tank had to be as low to the ground as possible, and the only way to achieve that was to eliminate the rotating turret entirely. Western generals and foreign specialists openly mocked the concept, calling a turretless tank a technical absurdity that belonged to the obsolete assault guns of the past. Yet, Berge was a master of persuasion. He demonstrated that by fixing the Royal Ordnance 105mm gun rigidly into the hull, the tank could achieve an unmatched rate of fire of 15 rounds per minute using a fully automated loader. To aim, the entire vehicle would turn on its tracks for horizontal targeting, while a revolutionary hydropneumatic suspension system would rock the entire hull up and down for vertical targeting, turning the machine into a lethal ambush predator. Beyond its low profile, The true genius of the Stridsvagn 103 lay in its hidden engineering blind spots, which provided radical solutions to battlefield survival. To solve the problem of fighting while being outflanked, Swedish engineers implemented a highly unusual crew configuration. The tank accommodated 3 personnel, but the most striking feature was the addition of a dedicated reverse driver who sat facing completely backward. This meant that if the vehicle was ambushed or swarmed by threats, the reverse driver could instantly take full control, allowing the tank to retreat at its maximum speed of 60 kilometers per hour, while keeping its thickest frontal armor directed toward the enemy. Furthermore, this machine made history as the world's first production tank to utilize a hybrid powerplant, combining a Rolls-Royce diesel engine for normal cruising with a Boeing gas turbine engine for high-speed sprints across broken terrain. By placing this entire heavy engine compartment in the front of the vehicle rather than the rear, the designers created a massive kinetic buffer zone, ensuring that any incoming projectile would have to shred through heavy machinery before ever reaching the crew compartment. This exact concept of utilizing the engine as a shield directly inspired the high survival rates seen in modern Swedish armor designs. But the ultimate defensive secret was a specialized slat armor grille mounted on the front glacis. Kept under the strictest secrecy for decades and only revealed to the public in the early 1990s, this metal mesh was engineered to prematurely detonate incoming anti-tank missiles and shaped charge warheads, bleeding away their penetrating energy through the open air before they could compromise the main hull. By mastering these hidden technological innovations, Sweden successfully proved that mechanical ingenuity could overcome massive numerical superiorities. These radical engineering choices culminated in a legendary final showdown during the late 1990s, before the vehicle was officially retired. In a series of highly competitive field exercises, 7 elderly Stridsvagn 103 tanks took up concealed defensive positions against 7 brand new German-built Leopard 2 main battle tanks. The stunning result left military observers completely speechless, as the older turretless machines successfully outmaneuvered and destroyed all 7 modern Leopards while sustaining only a single loss. The S-tank proved that a low silhouette, a high rate of fire, and the ability to rapidly retreat in reverse granted a decisive tactical advantage in modern mechanized combat. While technological advancements in computerized fire control systems eventually led to its replacement, the core philosophy of this northern masterpiece has officially risen from the ashes. Today, as global defense ministries witness multi-million-dollar heavy tanks falling victim to cheap drone swarms, the entire world is realizing that the era of towering, heavily armored turrets may finally be drawing to a close. Modern combat vehicle 90 variants now feature low-profile unmanned turrets, and next-generation main battle tank designs are moving the entire human crew deep inside the hull for safety, a direct validation of Sven Berge's vision. The ultimate lesson of the Stridsvagn 103 is that survival on the modern battlefield does not belong to the vehicle with the thickest steel, but to the machine that can intelligently disappear into the natural landscape. As military planners around the world reshape their armor doctrines for the future, this forgotten Cold War pioneer stands as a timeless testament to human ingenuity. Do you believe that future armor designs should completely abandon the traditional rotating turret in favor of fully unmanned hulls, or does heavy steel still hold a purpose? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.